South Africa's banking sector is crowded, but new players are finding space. Retail giants like Shoprite and Pepco are getting their elbows out and muscling into the sector. They are not the only ones. External players like British fintech Revolut are eyeing the market. Our reporter Prudence Makubalo filed this report.
South Africa's big four banks have dominated the local market for decades, but analysts say that grip is loosening as technology and changing consumer tastes bring in fresh competition, from supermarket chains to global fintech brands. The consumer, they say, is at the center of the shift.
To a certain extent, it's because the banking sector is so antiquated. Because remember, these banks are old, some of them century plus in age, and they've built up systems that have obviously, lasted the test of time, but are also not suitable to the modern technological environment. And they have a lot of legacy systems that have to be, maintained in order to keep the whole thing running.
Shoprite has become one of the most aggressive disruptors. Its money market account already counts millions of users, offering services once reserved for traditional banks, from saving and transaction to sending cash across the country.
We see this as not a separate product and a silo play. We look at the group as an ecosystem, and where we can facilitate interaction with customers and more interaction with customers, we look at a customer's profitability across the ecosystem. So we don't have to force a loan down their throat. A lot of customers already choose us as their primary retailer, and this is just another products and services.
Its rival, Pepco, owner of Pep and Ackermans, is also deepening its push. Last month, the company received approval to apply for a consumer banking license. The group is leveraging its massive footprint in townships and rural areas to offer low-cost financial products to budget-conscious South Africans. Analysts like Kabelo Mushesha at Mazi Asset Management have some advantages.
The key thing is, when we look at the dynamics in most developing markets, it's around a lot of cash still being in the system. And that creates opportunities for new players to come into the market and participate in those pools. What you find the retailers are doing a lot is advances, so remittances, cross-border transactions, also leveraging the existing footprint.
For incumbent banks, the competition couldn't come at a more delicate time. They're dealing with rising costs, pressured consumers, and a push to innovate in an economy where every rand counts. New players are betting on speed, low fees, and simplicity, hoping to win customers who want banking that feels more like shopping online than visiting a branch. But are they feeling the threat?
I think they will threaten traditional banks because, much of the lucrative banking market is already captured. Yes, there may be new entrants that you could, go after, but the lucrative stuff, the one that really makes a lot of money, is already captured by the current system in South Africa. We had a very, well-developed financial system.
Given that they are taking away the potential future growth of the existing banks, right? So you'll find that in our dynamic, there was a theme of middle income emerging. That's not so much the case anymore. And now if those customers are already captured by the retailers, it leaves very little share for the incumbent banks to take.
This is the market that Shoprite sees itself being a champion in.
If you look at the banking sector in South Africa, I quite often say the richer part of South Africa is quite well served with the South African banks, with the really good loyalty programs, stability in our financial ecosystem, and I think we sport for choice. So we've got a good amount of players offering a good amount of choice. But if you look at the mass market, I think banking for the mass market is still overpriced, and I don't think they've got a choice that really suits their needs and allow them to bank the way they want to bank.
The banking sector is evolving at speed, with retailers no longer on the sidelines. Now, with their next move in credit, savings and compliance, will actually determine whether if they are disruptors or the next generation of banks in South Africa. Now with me, Prudence Makubalo, CNBC Africa in Johannesburg.